Hello, Fearless Gamers, and welcome to Touching Base here on Fearless Games. Welcome back, everybody.
How you doing today, guys?
How's it going? How's it going?
It's getting a little cooler out.
Yes, I'm not happy.
Now. You're not really?
I don't like cold.
I hate heat.
I love the fall. I don't like the heat.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
It's better in the cold.
You know what's funny though? As it's getting cooler into September, for some reason my allergies are getting worse.
Really?
That's
never happened that way before. It's always the other way around.
The treatment's having their last tooth hurrah.
It must be. It must be. I am actually terribly allergic to black birch.
What?
Yeah,
really?
Right? It's like super specific.
I don't know if we have black birch around here, do we?
Not that I've noticed.
I'm no botanist, but...
Yeah. So
how are your allergies doing?
Yeah, how they doing?
Please let us know.
Leave us a comment.
Let us know if you're a little
I know, we're not just all about wargaming. How are you?
Yeah.
Hives.
Because we're always concerned. Yes. And Starklord, you must be feeling pretty good. You're number 2 in the channel.
I do feel pretty good.
Yeah, you are number 2.
That's not funny. And now laugh. Poop. So I'm pretty good about being number 2. I like not being in last like someone else on this channel.
This guy. Sorry, James. Threw you under the bus.
That's alright, you know, I work in the shadows.
You know, we know, you and I know who the coolest members of this team are.
Me.
No.
Just because you rigged a little comment, not even a contest, like you just paid a couple of people to comment with your name, doesn't mean anything.
I kind of think it does.
This guy and this guy know the truth.
And that said I'm the best.
No.
Because I didn't rig it and I still got votes.
No, you're still number 2.
Yeah.
In that you came from and are returning to a toilet bowl.
Wow. That's harsh.
Very. But
who takes it?
For you,
I hang out with you. Yeah, I mean, that says a lot about me.
You hang out with toilet bowl.
Yeah, I hang out with a turd.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's okay.
So,
anyways,
on to news for the video.
Okay.
Who's got back here?
Some news?
I've got something really quick for everybody.
Right.
If you haven't yet, and you're a big fan of Nintendo, pre-order the Wii U right now, because it comes out November 18th, and a lot of people are already running out of pre-orders.
In fact, hit pause, because we'll still be here when you come back, because this isn't a live stream.
No, we're not going anywhere.
Hit pause, run to your local Best Buy, whatever.
GameStop, whoever's doing pre-orders.
Video games from.
Hand the man your money, get your receipt, return and hit play.
If you're a fan of Nintendo, of course.
Yes.
Of course, by the time this video goes up, they might already be out of pre-order. So if you're getting this now and you're a fan of Nintendo, you're doing it wrong. That's okay. We all do.
Some people
no.
So now, any other news going on?
Don't you have
yes,
something to say?
I got 2 points. 2 points of news.
Oh, look at this hog.
Yeah, I'm taking all the news time now.
Such a pig.
Okay, so point 1, Paradiso campaign for Infinity is coming out. It's already out in Spain. If you didn't know already, that Infinity is made by a company called Corvus Belli, which is a Spanish company. So their Spanish version's already out. The English version should be coming out on October 4th, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be pretty soon.
That's right before your birthday.
It is. Yep. And it should be pretty good.
And so, because it's a Spanish company, I guess this new faction is going to be the Montoyas, and they're trying to get revenge for the death of their father.
Really?
If anybody gets that, by the way, real quick, kudos to you.
Well, everyone should get that.
Yeah, there are some people that don't get it.
Yeah, but
if you don't get that, ask someone in the comments what that reference is, and then go watch that reference, because it's worth watching it.
You don't know, maybe you should just pretend you get that reference, because we're going to judge you if you don't.
Anyways, going back, so they're coming out, it's a new campaign book, there's a new, you just said it before, new faction, thank you. They're
called the Montoyas.
They're not called the Montoyas, I don't remember the name, it's someone with an M. They're a new alien race. They look cool, because it's Infinity, everything looks cool.
So, it's already out in Spain, right? You said?
Yeah, it should already be out in
Any viewers from Spain, how is it?
Yeah, let us know. Preferably in English, because we don't read Spanish very well.
We have Google Translate. Let them type
Google
how
Translate
they want.
does not work.
Works better than me looking at Spanish and going, I think they're talking about El Baño.
Yeah, I've been there with
Google Translate. We'll accept Spanish comments because you know what, it means you love us.
Yeah.
If you can understand us, that's
picky.
Great. I'm not being picky.
Selfish.
A little selfish.
So what's your other news
Second point, for all of you who like dystopian wars, but don't want steampunk battleships, so you prefer painting tiny people instead of tiny ships, like this guy, there's Dystopian Legions coming out. So Spartan Games has decided to make a 28mm skirmish game with the Dystopian Wars universe. So steampunk little dudes for everybody, and giant robots. So they got robots like this big and little guys this big. It's gonna be cool.
That's awesome.
I've seen photos of some of the models. They're actually really, really cool.
Yes,
I haven't even seen any
I'm
of this
actually
stuff yet.
really fond of the designs they came out with.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's cool stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta take a look at that. I still have to paint my Dystopian War
You
shop.
do. Check it out. Southland's Spartan, Spartan.uk website, I believe is what it is.
It's usually .co/UK for
.co.uk.
Whatever. Put in Dystopian Legions, Dystopian Wars, or Spartan Games. It'll pop up.
Just do an internet search. You'll find it.
Yeah, it's not hard. That's what Google's for.
So, any other news?
There's only war.
Go on.
Yeah, 40K.
Well, that's the point. If you like role-playing games,
We do.
We do, actually.
We're running one right now.
right? There's Only War. Only War just came out, pretty much. It's an Imperial Guard-based role-playing game in the 41st millennium. Now, everybody, pump your brakes before you start saying, "Why would you want to be Imperial Guard?"
That's what I was going to say. I don't want to fight with a flashlight.
It's a fancy
You can be a
flashlight.
Space Marine if you want the epic kind of we're super soldier transhuman, we can take on anything. If you want to just die a lot, you can play Dark Heresy. If you want ship combat to be a real big part of it, you got Rogue Trader.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. But if you want to be the common man fighting for the Imperium, that dude, the underdog, and actually not die like that, kind of like this, you can be in the Imperial Guard, and it's pretty cool because you have the might of the Imperial Guard behind you. I believe you can pilot Sentinels, probably jump in a Lehman Russ tank.
Wait. So make my own personal little walkie chicken tank?
Yeah, so you can probably get shot in the head by a commissar. I mean, what's not
Nice. That's what
Commissar.
You know,
that's pretty
you
sweet.
know.
That's what I've always dreamed of.
Yeah, but every time I say I wish I could be an Imperial Guardsman and show a sign of cowardice so a commissar can put me on my misery.
It really is an honorable way to go.
And I think that means you might be able to actually become a commissar.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Then I
That's
can
even
cat
better.
people.
That hat alone
Is worth it.
That hat is beyond the
That
epic
is
already.
the most styling hat.
But
so
you know what? I'm already ready for this
all
game
time.
because I already have my Imperial Guard primer
There you
ready to
go.
go.
See, so
Yeah.
if you like
Let's hang.
role-playing games, but you don't, some people just find Space Marines. Yes, everybody thinks Space Marines is cool, but you think it's too much. You don't want to be super epic. You know, sometimes you want more of the survival feel, the gritty feel. Imperial Guard, Only War. There it is.
All right. So
Alrighty.
there it is.
And-
Was there anything else we wanted
I
to
believe
discuss?
there was,
Yes.
wasn't there?
I think you got something for us.
Yep.
Got something.
Now, for any of you who have been on our Fearless Games on Facebook, we briefly mentioned a new video that was posted by Forge World.
What did you just say?
We have a Facebook?
What?
What?
We have a Facebook?
We've had a Facebook for months now.
We go on Facebook?
Do you not like us on Facebook?
No.
Like us on
Go!
Facebook!
Go like us
now.
on Facebook. What are you doing?
Don't go in front of the
Don't walk in front of the camera. God, this guy.
I'm gonna dislike you. Can I dislike
You can't.
You can't do that on Facebook. There's no button for
There's
that.
only positivity and love on Facebook.
That's not right. That's not the internet.
There's no button for the hate. Okay,
I want a button for the hate.
You're gonna have to specifically post it, and at which point we can delete that.
So you did it?
Sure.
Yeah.
God,
That's a good mask, man.
what a maroon.
So,
Facebook.
we recently posted a post on there that talked about Forge World's new announcement. At Games Day UK on September 23rd, a limited release of the first book in the Horus Heresy series, Betrayal, will be out. Now, for those who don't know, this is a Forge World game book series that is basically...
It's basically standalone, but you still need the 40k main rules because it's a 40k game.
Well,
Yes.
yeah,
But
makes
it's not
sense.
like the other books where it's like, hey, for example, Badab War. You can have Hirion, basically the Blackheart, lead the actual cause during the rebellion against that.
Which is pretty
But
cool,
you
frankly.
still need the Space Marine Codex if you're not going to use a Tyrant Legion thing in there. You still need
right.
that Codex plus the 40k rules plus the Imperial Armor book. This is not Imperial Armor. This is a standalone book, so Imperial Armor will still be happening. This is kind of like the Warhammer Forge books.
Yes.
So Horus Heresy is going to be its own book series. It can stretch on for as long as the novels are, which is a long time. But
That's pretty cool.
it's cool, and it is getting a limited release in in the Games Day in UK.
Yep.
And by the way, if anybody wants to private message the Wildcard specifically, if you're going to be there, I will give you money to get me that book. I'm not even joking. So
He doesn't joke.
I'm not
No,
joking.
He actually doesn't have a sense of humor. I've never actually seen him. Every time you think he's joking,
He's not.
dead serious.
Completely.
And then you wake up in a bathtub full of ice with a kidney missing.
And I will pay also to get a copy as well.
Yeah, we will do it because we don't like waiting.
No.
But if you like waiting,
remember that whole Dark Vengeance thing? We were.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we were mad. But if you want to wait, usually what I've noticed with their models and their books is at most has been like I think 3 months until it actually came out to get worldwide. But if you can get a limited release, I will pay you.
Yep. It's and like I said, it's an ongoing series about the whole Horus Heresy, and we have confirmation if you read in all the pages that they describe. Primarchs are going to be in it, so we're going to have probably Primarchs for the Death Guard, the Emperor's Children, the Sons of Horus, and the World Eaters.
Yes.
So really the only 4 important ones.
Yep. So, and for those who are wondering, like, would Horus be in it? Our theory right now is we think he's going to be in it, but he's going to be at low-level chaos corruption. And he's going to get more of that whole epic Horus that we know and love near the end of the series.
Yeah, basically, if you read the books, Horus goes through changes, aside from being nearly killed and then coming back and getting all evilly. His warrior changes throughout the thing. And that's the thing with Primarchs, they have their signature warrior that we don't know about, but they are masters with anything. They can pick up a stick and kill you with it. So they have a whole room full of war gear just for them. But Horus's main war gear has changed. He used to have a sword and he's get the mace and the claw thing.
Yep.
So that might change towards Season of Terror. You might start seeing him in his classic, black Terminator style armor he's in, everything like that. But we're thinking it might be like that because Fulgrim goes from being Prissy Boy to going to full arm like Snake Dude. So
which is cool.
Yeah. So there's probably gonna be a change there. Also, if you watch a little video that the Forge will put up, you're gonna see models that you can't get yet that will be out. One of them is a Terminator armor, which I'm so glad about. I love that Terminator armor.
They look nice.
You got jet bikes. You can get the Fellblade, which is basically a Space Marine Baneblade, so you can actually hit something.
For those who haven't seen it, the Fellblade it looks like it's got transport doors on it, so it may have some sort of form of transport. It's got on its side sponsons that are 4 lance cannons combined, so it's a quad cannon.
That's a lot of shooting.
And the Baneblade turret is 2 Baneblade battle cannons.
And keep in mind, this is Space Marine Legions. They have more access to war gear. Maybe going, but jet bikes, only Samuel has that. That's in the 41st millennium. Back in the day, jet bikes were everywhere. Back in the day, Imperial Guard had Land Raiders and Land Speeders.
Yep.
Which is awesome.
So, I mean,
we need more of that.
And by the way, it's not just going to be Space Marine love like the Badab War books for the Imperial Armor. Like I said, it's a standalone.
Really?
This is going to have Imperial forces in it. It's going to have Xenos in there.
Yep.
It may have the Xenos from the planet Murder, which is pseudo-Tyranid-esque, which would be cool.
Yeah, wait, hold up. There's a planet Murder.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
It's a planet called Murder.
They did announce that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does murder happen?
Yes,
on planet
in mass.
Murder?
Chances are, like for some people, we're probably also going to get, because a couple of the Xeno races did have battles and such in the Horus Heresy, and they did say they are going to focus on not just the Space Marines, so every race will have some sort of love.
That was the one fear with the Horus Heresy, that was just going to be another Space Marine.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, don't get me wrong, that's going to get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But you're still going to get things everywhere else, battle,
that's really
different
cool.
skirmishes you can do. And it's legions. They're not chapters.
Yep,
Space
they're
Marines and
legions.
legions fought in squads, sometimes very strong. If you want a glimpse into a Space Marine Legion formation, look at the Chaos Space Marine Codex for the generic Chaos Space Marine squad. It can go to 20.
Yep.
That's basically what they did. So you're going to have a lot of war gear. You're going to be able to fight, like they said, in armies battles of 10,000 points almost on each side. That's not Apocalypse, because you just have so much stuff.
Yeah.
And like stuff's really expensive. You're going to have Fellblades. You're going to have squads of like 50 Marines. You're going to have a Primarch, which is probably going to be a bajillion points.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have all that going in there. And that's what is fun about it. And I'm going to collect the Primarch models because I'm a loser.
We all are.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Different levels.
I've got like a girlfriend and a family that loves me, and wait, I don't have a job. Nope, those.
But
I tried.
You did try. I give you a valiant effort.
But you failed, so you're a loser.
Yes.
So now here's a big question.
Yes.
Since this is the whole Horus Heresy, what's your favorite traitor legion?
Ooh, that's a tough question. That's a tough question.
I have several.
Ditto.
Okay, what's your favorite main traitor
what's your
legion?
favorite cult legion?
Cult legion. Let's limit down to a cult.
Okay, what's your favorite cult legion?
Start with you.
Okay.
Star-Lord.
Well, when it comes to cult legion, there's only really 4 choices. Funny about that. My favorite is the Death Guard. I really like, I like them pre-Heresy a lot, frankly. I'm a big fan of Martarion. He's not my favorite Primarch, but he's really high up there. I like his whole story. I like how basically he, he went to defeat his stepdad on his planet and he kind of failed and the Emperor just kind of did it for him and he kind of always resented but loved the Emperor for doing that for him. And then Horus is like best friends like, yo dude, I don't like the Emperor, I'm gonna go fall. He's like, okay, I'll go with you. And the Legion's cool. The Death Guard's always been like this cool ground pounding, shoot stuff up kind of guys, and then they became the Death Guard with the cult. They got all Nurgly, and Nurgle's the god of death and decay, and I kind of dug that they kind of did it because they kind of feared dying. I mean, there's a whole... I like that. Like, they embraced death to avoid death. They had this interesting kind of, mentality about them. I just think they're a really fun legion in that they fell because of their fears more than anything else.
Okay,
I guess that's kind of cool.
They have a nice arc. And then, actually, they got one cool guy that didn't fall. What's his name?
Oh, Nathaniel Jarrow.
Yep.
Yeah, he was
Who's
cool.
in the Betrayal book.
Yeah, he's gonna be awesome. Big fan.
I guess that's cool,
Yeah,
but I mean, if you think about it, something a little bit cooler than that are Marines who have become so numb to normal stimulation that they have to constantly ramp it up, i.e. the Emperor's Children. Because Slaanesh is the most gangsta ever. Okay, so, because if you're not familiar with the Emperor's Children, specifically the Noise Marines, the idea is that, Slaanesh, being the chaos god of, well,
pleasure, excess,
hedonism is the word I was looking for.
So hedonism is a fan.
Yeah,
I love hedonism.
They indulge in anything that makes them happy. Sex, drugs, rock and roll. But eventually, sex, drugs, rock and roll are not enough. So they need to go to like ultra porn, ultra drugs, and
fire.
Whatever is next from rock and roll. Let me know. Dubstep, thank you. And then over like a century, it's like nothing works, which is half the reason they still go into battle, because you know what? You can still feel bullet wounds. And when you can feel, that means you're alive. And if you're alive, that means you're not dead. And if you're not dead, it means it's time to party.
So they just have that Andrew WK song constantly playing in their helmets?
Pretty much, yes.
Do you remember that song?
That or Highway to the Danger Zone.
Kenny Loggins.
I'm actually really fascinated by that concept of eventually becoming a giant walking callus to everything pleasant. Lucius the Eternal, for example, he gets his jollies in some weird ways. I also really like how Fulgrim's ultimate flaw was his vanity, his hubris, as it were. Yeah. I'm a big literature kind of guy, so by literary, approach, hubris is one of those very common but also very effective kind of falling points. He strove for perfection in all things and ended up becoming a giant snake dude with 4 arms.
Yeah.
And not so pretty, are we anymore?
Well, I'm sure he's created somebody.
And just so you get, Slaanesh isn't just about, the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. He's also kind of creepy. I mean, you think Death Guard is creepy?
He is also the Chaos Lord of Secrets.
Yeah, but it's creepy in that some of his demon lords are the king queens, the lord ladies. Their whole title includes king queen of this.
Yeah.
Of king queen of pain and pleasure. And it's kind of like, I don't understand what's going on.
I always imagine the demonettes are not just hiding girl parts under those cloth.
They're very much androgynous, yet both, yet non, yet creepy.
They're androgynously hermaphroditic confusion.
Yeah, he's basically everything that you find dark and bad about a person. Being super possessive, jealousy, all that together at once. It's surprising he doesn't just have a meltdown.
Yeah, all the things that make Republicans uncomfortable is kind of what Slaanesh kind of comprises.
And the floodgates are open.
Yeah. Not both sides, because both are uncomfortable.
Yeah, you can smurf that one out.
So, with me, I'm going to be really short because I've been talking a lot in this video.
We love the sound of it. No,
the one thing that my favorite Traitor Legion has to be the 1,000 Suns, because Zenich is awesome.
It's a cool hat.
And before, and in case, just forgive me because I do get a lot of questions about this. Why do I say Zenich and not Zenich or
Zinch.
Or Zinch?
Or however else you want to say it.
it's all part of the plan. That's all I'm gonna say. But I like
What a
Zinich
nerd.
because he's the chaos god of change and fate and sorcery, so everything's part of his plan. I love the way his demons look and his greater demons. And I always found, in my personal opinion, the Thousand Sons to be the most frightening of all of the legions, because they're basically just soulless automatons, to the point where they're even beyond Necrons, in my opinion, because
Necrons have feelings now.
you could take a void grenade, which is the most dangerous thing in the Space Marine Legion arsenal, pull the pin and hand it to a Thousand Sun dude and say, don't let go of it, and he will not let go of it. So these things are like, they are legion. They will storm front. You cannot reason. You cannot coerce. You cannot bargain. If they're told, invade this city and destroy everyone, nothing's going to stop them except the person who told them to do it. Magnus the Red is not my personal favorite of all the Primarchs, but I do like him and his chapter for the dramatic sadness behind them, which I'm going to let you talk about more.
Yes, I also am a Zinch fan, but I'm gonna switch up a bit. First off, Magnus the Red, I like him a lot because he's not a contradiction, but he's kind of like what? He's a giant. He's literally the biggest Primarch you're ever going to see. He's huge. He's got 1980s hair metal hair. I mean, he is crazy.
I think it was once stated by a space wolf when he walked onto the battlefield that the force of his feet liquefied the ground underneath him.
Yeah, that's also part of his
How
sorcery.
did you say standing?
He's sorcery.
How do you not constantly
He's
slip?
magic.
He's magic. But literally, what I like about him is he's huge. He's a gargantuan, and he's muscular and physically strong and can rip you apart with his bare hands. But he can also drop a titan with his mind. Like, he's not the typical super sorcerer supreme guy, whereas I'm frail and oh no, he's gigantic and will rip you apart with his bare hands. Plus, I know all the magic in the world.
He's like a Wookiee Jedi.
Yes, but
He's
cooler
like a
because he's not a
Wookiee
Wookiee.
Hey, Wookiees are kind of cool.
But
Says the
Short joke there.
but
short and hairy joke.
the Thousand Sons are also very. It's a legion of loss, and it's very sad because the whole reason they fell is because they tried to warn the Emperor of Horus's betrayal, and it went all awry. And Leman Russ had to go and execute them. And he didn't really want to fight them. In fact, if you read Frostbite Burns, one of the things is like, I don't want to do this. I'm gonna, but I don't want
Please
to.
give me a reason not to.
And Magnus didn't want to fight him, but his legion said, we're not going to go down without a fight, and that's why they fought. And they fell to stay alive. I like that, but since there are 4, I'm going to bring it down to Korn right now.
That's a good place to bring it. Someone needs to talk about that guy.
That's with a
it down.
K and an H.
No,
That's not the ethanol fuel. This is corn you can't
It's
eat.
sort of like corn. You know,
Yeah.
corn. Some people.
The World Eaters, I will make a case for the World Eaters because I find them to be very cool and often
Oh,
unrepresented.
they're absolutely
I find-
cool. They're just
fantastic
not my favorite.
I'm just gonna make a case for them being a favorite because, first off, their colors are white and blue, but they're butchers. So
They don't stay white and blue for long.
Nope.
No.
It's like the Punisher. If you ever read Marvel comics, he always wears those white gloves. And one day I asked my friend, like, why does he always wear those white gloves? And he's like, well, he wears them because eventually they're going to get covered in blood, and it's scary. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
messed up.
So the World Eaters, very cool. Korn is one of the older gods.
Yep.
Slaanesh one of the younger. Just make it
Yeah,
clear.
they're not friends.
But and it's really funny because anyway, they're not fans. But Korn is not just a god of like murder and slaughter. He's the chaos god of war. He's the chaos god of bloodshed. He doesn't care where the blood comes from as long as the blood flows. So if you gotta slit your own neck, he's cool with that.
Yep.
Blood for the blood god.
Like yeah,
Skulls for the skull throne.
Like,
He basically, as long as someone's fighting, he's winning.
he's basically eternal because there's always going to be conflict. That's what I like about him.
Because the orcs exist.
Exactly. But I like that about him, and he's so angry that sorcery doesn't work on him. I know that's
that
how
why
I
it doesn't
describe
work on
it.
him?
That's how I describe it. They're very anti-psychers, so they have a lot of gifts that make them. Oh, that was a magic blast. That was nothing. I think it's because they're so angry that basically it just doesn't work. And I just like the fact that what I like about it also is Angron is often called the Red Angel because he's just murderous, crazy.
Yeah.
He's got a stupid
And you have
His
who
name
you
is
have
Philly
you have
Lane.
Karn.
Yeah.
Now Karn,
Karn is the best.
Now that's I'm not corn. Karn.
Karn.
It's corn with an A. Instead of no.
And no E at the end of it.
Yeah. Oh no.
I'm a big fan of Karn.
But Karn is great because Karn was, before the fall, he was what a berserker is classically means. Somebody calm until battle happens and they just go crazy to kill everything, but after the battle, they're very noble again.
Yeah.
And that's what berserker really used to mean. But he was that.
He just had that battle fury.
He had that battle fury, and then they fell, and then he just had battle fury. In fact, his quote in the Chaos Space Marine Code, I'm going to paraphrase it, kill, maim, burn. And that's about it. And you just repeat that as long as you want. And that's what I like about them. They're the most straightforward. They have plans and plots, but at the end of the day, they're going to chop your head off. And you know that's going to happen, so you can plan for it and try to make it not happen.
Good luck with that, though. Quick with that things, I know Angron's kind of a silly name for a Primarch. I mean, Angron is the angry one, go figure. But he's actually, I like him because he's also another one that's tragic.
Whoa.
What?
Ferrus Manus, he's the Iron Hands.
Let's not talk about Ferrus. They all have silly names.
Sanguinus of the Blood Angels, my personal favorite Primarch.
But, okay, let's get him back. Angron, besides silly names, they all have silly names.
Except for Lionel Johnson.
That's a silly name.
It has nothing to do with Dark Angels, so it's kind of silly.
Yeah, he's actually a really interesting Primarch, and like you see his backstory and what he was and what he could have been, and how the Emperor is kind of the fault with him, frankly.
Yeah.
You know, he was fighting, he was basically being Spartacus. He was fighting a rebel slave gladiator rebellion against a planet of hateful beings, and he was about to win, and the Emperor showed up and instead of helping him said, here, come with me, forget your friends, I'm just going to transport you all to your legion.
To correction, he was about to lose and die with his brothers.
Oh, which would have been better anyways.
But and then the Emperor said, I can't let you die, I'm taking you with me.
He should have gone down there, that's all I'm saying.
And that's why Angron, the reason why he fell is Angron had a lot of hatred towards the Emperor. Not overall as his father, but he hated the fact that he couldn't die with his gladiatory brothers. Part of a little fluff thing, they make a scar along their body and they keep it pure for every battle they win. He only has one smudge because he lost that battle and he lived to tell it. So he got really angry because of that, because his red, I think it's called the red path or whatever, was tarnished. And he couldn't just die undefeated, basically.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So that is all we have for right now. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
Yes, but
there is
not forget
the
BattleTech giveaway.
Yep.
If you haven't tried to get a second entry or whatever it is, you haven't checked out to see what exactly I'm talking about.
If you know somebody below. If you know somebody who'd be into it, we'll show them the video, get them involved.
Yes, tell your friends.
Tell your friends' friends. Tell your parents.
Tell your parents' friends.
Yep.
Don't think it's weird. But,
and
you know,
they'll listen. There you go.
And also, if you get a chance, like us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, and
subscribe if you haven't.
Yep.
Hit like here.
And also keep an eye out because next month is our 1-year anniversary, and
we've got some stuff lined up.
We've got some nice, crazy stuff that'll be out on time.
Yep.
Because we've been a little crazy this month.
Oh, ye of little faith.
You never know. I always plan ahead for mistakes. So, that is all for right now. Until next time, fearless gamers, take care.
So you gotta think of something else.
Like chainsaws?
Chainsaws.
Or drugs.
Or drugs.
Don't do
drugs.
Don't do it. We're talking fiction. Thank you. Don't do it. It's a bad idea.